Act 3. The final stand. Death before dishonor. The sun rises once more over Thermopylae, but this is no ordinary dawn. The air is thick with the stench of blood. The ground is littered with Persian bodies, stacked upon one another in grotesque heaps. For 2 days, Leonidas and his warriors have held the pass, defying the greatest empire the world has ever seen. Among them is Dionys, a hardened Spartan hoplite. He grips his spear, feeling the weight of the battle ahead. His breath is steady. His hands do not shake. His brothers stand beside him, shields locked, forming an impenetrable wall of bronze and iron. The Spartans will not move. They will not waver. They are the last thing standing between Greece and the Persian horde. And yet as Dionys stands among his brothers, spear in hand, he knows that this day is different. He can see it in Leonidas's face, in the way the Spartans grip their weapons. There is no fear, no hesitation, only certainty. They all know the truth. This is the day they die. As the Spartans prepare for another day of slaughter, a Greek scout comes running into the camp, his breath ragged, his face pale. They have found another way through the pass. Dionys turns sharply, his blood running cold, the words cut through the morning air like a blade. The Persians have been led through a secret path, winding through the mountains above Thermopylae. The traitor's name is Ephialtes, a Greek who, for the promise of wealth and power, has shown the Persians the way to flank the Spartans. The Greeks are now trapped. Xerxes' forces will attack from both the front and the rear. Dionys grips his spear tighter. He hears a murmur of anger among the ranks, but no panic. Spartans do not fear death. Leonidas, calm as ever, surveys his warriors. He speaks without raising his voice. Spartans, eat well. Tonight, we dine in Hades. A chuckle ripples through the ranks. Some grin, others nod, accepting their fate without hesitation. Leonidas then gathers the remaining Greek forces. The 700 Thespians, 400 Thebans, and the remaining allies stand together, waiting for his command. Those who wish to leave, go now. This is your last chance. Some of the allies do leave, knowing that they are needed for the battles to come. But the 700 Thespians stay. The Thebans remain as well, though their loyalty is uncertain. Dionys does not even consider leaving. He sees his brothers standing firm, their bronze shields raised, their spears unbroken. They will not abandon their king. They will not run. For Sparta, for Greece, they will fight until their last breath. From his throne, Xerxes watches as his forces tighten the noose around the Greeks. His frustration has turned to satisfaction. Now they will die. The Persians attack from both sides, their war horns screaming through the air. Arrows rain down like a storm, striking against bronze and flesh alike. But the Spartans do not break. Dionys meets the first charge head-on, his spear thrusting forward, piercing the throat of a Persian soldier. Blood sprays across his face. Another enemy rushes toward him. He pivots, using his shield as a weapon, bashing the man to the ground before driving his spear through his chest. They fight with everything they have. The Greek lines hold, but the numbers are too great. They are running out of space, running out of weapons to wield. Leonidas fights at the front of his men, slashing through Persian warriors, his cloak soaked in blood. He kills and kills, but even a king cannot stand forever. A Persian spear finds its mark. Leonidas staggers, blood dripping from his mouth. Another spear strikes him in the chest. His knees buckle, but he does not fall. The Spartans surround their king, forming a defensive circle around his body. Leonidas watches as his king falls. For a moment, the world seems to stand still. Then, a roar erupts from the Spartans, a final act of defiance. With no more spears, they fight with swords. When their swords break, they fight with their fists. When their fists fail, they bite, they claw. They refuse to stop. One by one, they are cut down, but they do not cry out. They do not beg for mercy. They die as Spartans. The battlefield is silent. Xerxes walks among the dead, his face unreadable. His men surround the lifeless body of Leonidas, but even in death, the Spartan king seems defiant. The Persians have won, but Xerxes does not feel victorious. He expected fear, surrender, submission. Instead, he found warriors who refused to break, who chose death over slavery. He turns to his men. Bury them, let the world forget them. But the world did not forget. News of the Spartan sacrifice spreads across Greece. It ignites a fire of resistance. In Athens, the people rise. At Salamis, the Greeks lured the Persian fleet into a trap, crushing them in a decisive naval battle. A year later, at Plataea, the Greek forces drive the Persians from their lands forever. Thermopylae was not a victory, but it was never meant to be. It was a message to the world that tyranny can be resisted, that freedom is worth dying for. Centuries later, an inscription is carved where they made their last stand. Go, tell the Spartans, stranger passing by, that here, obedient to their laws, we lie. Their story is etched into history, never to be forgotten. The 300 are gone, but their legend will never die. A lasting memory. The stand at Thermopylae was not just a battle. It was a statement, a defiance against overwhelming odds. It proved that courage and unity could stand against the might of an empire. Without the Spartan sacrifice, Greece may have fallen. And without Greece, the world as we know it may have been unrecognizable. They did not fight for power, for wealth, or for conquest. They fought because it was their duty. They fought because it was who they were. They fought for freedom, and because of them, Greece endured. The Spartans may have fallen, but their legacy lives on. That wraps up Part 3. The dramatic conclusion of this legendary battle. If you enjoyed this journey through history, like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible stories of bravery, war, and legacy.